Hello and welcome back to the Rewrite Your Story podcast. This episode is a little bit different this week. I had an experience earlier on in the week that I just wanted to share with you. As a lot of you might know, I am currently doing a life coaching certification program with Hungry for Happiness. And part of our course was that we could volunteer to be coached by one of the mentors in an observation class where the rest of the trainee coaches will observe you being coached and get some, tips on how to coach people and probe the coach on techniques that they used. I thought it might have been a little bit daunting to be observed by a load of people, but it just felt like the right thing for me to do. So I volunteered and was chosen. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on the experience and, also share with you my vulnerability and the issues that came up for me that didn't even come to my mind. It was quite surprising. There was a few big realizations that I had in this coaching session with Bobbi that never came up in the years of therapy that I had. This was honestly the first time I'd ever got clarity on these things. It's a little different to my normal flow of things, but I felt really called to share this with you guys. And I hope you enjoy hearing about my coaching experience. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the Rewrite Your Story podcast. If you are someone who is looking to take power back into your life and be in control of your destiny, then this is for you. This podcast was created to empower others by sharing the tools that have truly transformed my life. So sit back, relax, and let's start rewriting your story today. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rewrite Your Story podcast. I wasn't planning on doing an episode by myself and interrupting the flow of things, but as always, I felt called to just hop on here and share something with you guys that has come up for me today. So just to give you a bit of context, I'm doing a course for those of you who haven't picked that up just yet. I'm currently going through my life coaching certification with Hungry for Happiness. And currently at the point of our course, we are observing live coaching calls between the coach and the client. And that kind of gives us an opportunity to kind of observe how these calls happen and probe the coach at the end of these calls to get an understanding on why they went the direction they did and ask the questions they did, and etc. And for this particular call that we had, I was the client. So it's not like a pretend thing. Like, you actually go in with a real topic and it's a real coaching session. And the only thing that's different to being a coaching session that you'd pay for is that there's a bunch of people watching you. And I was definitely nervous about doing it. More so not about the one-on-one side, but because there's going to be a bunch of people watching me live, and then, the 100 or so people that are in my course watching it later in their own time. And these people are just going to watch me be vulnerable. But when I was in this space, it was just so supportive. I was aware that those people were there the whole time, but it was as if they were all just like supporting me, rather than like ogling me, if that made sense. But anyway, during the call, sorry if you can hear those sirens. I'm just up in our office and there's like a main road down there. So sorry if they're being picked up. And if they're not being picked up, cool. But anyway, when we were on this call, I had something come up for me that has never came up for me in my whole history of seeing therapists and, doing the self-development work that I've been doing for quite some time. Which was a question around my worth. And it brought up a point of where I felt worthless about myself, which I'd never made that connection about before. And yeah, just a reminder, guys, I'm human. I might be out here preaching all this self-help stuff and talking to you guys about this world of coaching and self-development. But, you know, as coaches, as anybody in the self-help realm, we're humans too. We have our shit too. We're not perfect. We just share tools that we've learned and help try to guide you guys to get some clarity on things for yourself. But we're on this journey too. No one's on a pedestal. No one's better than the other. We're just humans going through life, and we're just helping you guys get some answers. But we're on that journey too. And the issue that I can't, well, not the issue, but the thing that had me get to this part of feeling worthless was around productivity and taking off a box and having achievements and saying I've done things. As a few of you know, I got laid off during the pandemic, and in my industry, it's quite a driven, competitive world, you know, being in HR and recruitment, especially the recruitment side of things. You know, there's a lot of grind, a lot of things you've got to do. But I thrive in that kind of environment. I really love being busy, like, because I love to just get things done. I'm like, oh yeah, that person's got their job. And don't get me wrong, it's not just ticking a box. I love the joy that comes from that experience, like helping someone get a job and all of the things that come with it. It's phenomenal. And to be part of that person's life, it's so much more than just getting my job done and doing my job. It's just impacting someone and making a change in the world. It's huge. And that's part of what's led me to this coaching environment. But I loved the thrill of achievement. You know, I filled this many job orders this day. I've had these many meetings with managers and their employee to get to the bottom of internal issues. And we've solved these problems and things are moving forward. I love problem solving. You know, if I wasn't in this world, or, you know, I wonder if I was like in another life, you know, would I be a detective or something? I love just getting to the bottom of things and having resolutions. But that's where I see a lot of my value and my worth is in that momentum of doing things and achieving things and getting things done. And although that's great to have worth in there, because it means I will strive to do things and complete things, it can get to a point where it's at a detriment to myself. And that's kind of what's been happening recently. You know, although I was laid off and I've been unemployed and I'm starting my own business, I'm putting so much of my time and energy into my business and learning, you know, especially the stuff that goes on behind it, learning the business side, learning marketing, learning editing, all of those things, that I'm neglecting myself. When I went into this coaching call, I went in with the topic of exploring self-love a bit more, because I've been telling myself for weeks, I'm going to get back into my morning routine. Last year, when I first got laid off, I was doing yoga every morning. I would go have a cup of tea on the balcony. I'd have a really healthy breakfast. I'd take like about an hour to just align myself for the day. I'd do my breath work, and I would feel incredible. And it just really set me up for the day. And like my body just shrunk. It got so tight. And like I felt better. My energy felt better. I looked better. Everything just felt great. And I'm like, do you know what? I want to get back into that routine. And it just set me up for the day. But I've not been doing it. Like I know it's good for me. I know how to do it. But I'm just not doing it. And I feel like a lot of you guys might be able to relate to that. Like, you know all the things, you know what you're meant to do, but there's just some sort of block that gets in the way or stops you from doing it. And it's your mindset. It's some sort of belief or some sort of need you're getting filled from doing something else that's stopping you from doing what you're wanting to do. And And the more Bobbi delved into this with me, I realized that that was the kicker for me, that, you know, I've been laid off. I've not got these targets to hit that somebody else has put on me. I've not got this job that's, you know, I've got these things to take that shows that I've been successful for the day. So I've created my own, and I'm almost doing it tenfold so other people see that I'm busy. Other people notice I'm busy so that they don't think, oh, Amy's just being a lazy bum on her ass. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely a time and a place to go sit on your arse and do nothing and chill and just have a duvet day. I'm all about those. All about them. I had 2 of them last week because my symptoms flared up a little. But it's about listening to your body and knowing when to have those days, and also knowing when to slow down. And it's strange because, like I mentioned, my morning routine, it sets me up for the day. It just grounds me. It has me ready. It puts me in such a state of flow where I'm on such a high vibration where I'm unstoppable. I can get so much shit done. I'm so productive when I'm in that state. So I'm depriving myself of that. Like, I'm so busy and I'm working really late at the moment. But if I did my morning routine, I'd probably get everything I needed done to a better standard in less amount of time if I just did my routine and set myself up for the day. So it was just crazy getting into this with Bobbi and realizing that I had these 2 voices in my head. One is, Amy, do your routine. You know it's good for you. You need it. And the other voice was, Amy, you need to get shit done, because as soon as you get that done, you can get into something else. And then you can start building your courses and you can start doing these things, and you've got to just do it. You've got to just do it. You've got to get these things out. You've got to churn. You've got to grind. You've got to go, 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 go. Both voices are valid, but the one that was louder was the go get everything done. Do this. Finish editing. Finish this. Learn how to do that. Get that out. Get that out. Get that out. Make the content. Do all the things. And when we questioned that and we looked in deeper, that's when we came up with, well, that's when I discovered that I find my value and worth in doing things for other people. And so that other people didn't question my abilities, that, oh, Amy was this super driven person when she was employed in the corporate world, but now she's not because she's unemployed. It's weird that how your brain does those things. I know my value. I know who I am. I know that that hasn't changed just because my career was taken away from me. And even better, with that career I had been taken away from me, I've cultivated a new one. I've cultivated one that's been so aligned to me for years. For years, you know, when I started going into the corporate world, the jobs that lit me up were where I was providing value to other people, where I was helping others. Like, this whole life coaching world's been coming to me for years, but I've never been able to jump into it fully because my corporate job took all my time. So it's strange now that I'm fully pursuing my coaching world that I feel like I'm not validated because it's not in the corporate sense. Interesting how our brains work. Like, this might make sense with you. It might be really confusing to others, and that's totally okay. Okay. It's totally okay. See, I'm human. As I was about to say, like, I'm just a human on another journey. I might be a couple of steps ahead, but the work never stops. I had this realization today. Who knows? I might have another one tomorrow. But I'm constantly working on myself, constantly wanting to strive for a better life, be a better human. You know, I want to help get to know people better, but every day I want to get to know me better. And I want to implore you guys to do the same. Especially if there's an element of your life where you're neglecting yourself. Or you could treat yourself better. Be that the food that you're eating. If it then makes you feel sluggish or crappy, question why you're doing that. If it's the things you're consuming, media, movies, anything online that you're watching that changes your energy state, that puts you into a negative vibration, that makes you feel low, that makes you feel anxious. The language you're using, if you're using words to others and especially to yourself that are negative, that are lacking, that are scarce, observe them, but question it. Why am I doing this? What need am I trying to fulfill? Where is this coming from? Just see what comes up. And if you feel comfortable to, you see someone you love doing those things, even have a chat with them. It's good to let people we love know that they're seen, because I know for me, half the time when I'm overdoing it, I don't notice until it's too late. But I have great friends and a great boyfriend that are like, yo, Missy, slow down. What are you doing? Stop. Like Abby, she's always like, Amy, you didn't ask me for help. You just did that on your own. And I'm like, oh yeah, oops. It's good to support the people you love. But the person you should love the most is you. So don't forget to love yourself a bit more. I know after today's call, I'll be loving me a bit more too. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe. Bye.
Hello and welcome to the Rewrite Your Story podcast. If you are someone who is looking to take power back into your life and be in control of your destiny, then this is for you. This podcast was created to empower others by sharing the tools that have truly transformed my life. So sit back, relax, and let's start rewriting your story today.